Now, this would be such an interesting match to see. I was scrolling through TikTok yesterday and I stumbled upon this live that showed this matchup. On one side, we have Doomsday, the ultimate creature with the ability to adapt after death and always be able to come back more powerful. And on the other side, we have Darwin from Marvel's X-Men with the power of survival adaptation, or the power to always develop an ability to be able to survive whatever he stumbles across. And those powers could range from something simple like teleporting to the other side of the planet to get away from his opponent, to literally becoming a god of death to fight another god of death. And there's so many answers for how this fight could go. You could genuinely make dozens of hypotheticals with just these two characters. You could say Darwin's powers would pull a situation like he did with Hulk and just teleport him away from Doomsday. You could give him an ability that makes it to where he can just one-shot Doomsday for now, and then wait until Doomsday comes back. And either repeat the process, or once his powers realize that this enemy is constantly going to come back more powerful, develop some power to just keep him away from Doomsday from that point onward. Meanwhile, with Doomsday, if Darwin's powers simply just give him a new power that Doomsday hasn't become immune to, then this is simply just going to be a back and forth battle of Doomsday showing up, eventually getting killed, showing up, eventually getting killed, over and over and over, until one of the two either runs out of powers to use that Doomsday isn't immune to, or Doomsday just fully becomes immune and just, sure, he probably wouldn't be able to kill Darwin anyways, because that's Darwin's whole gimmick, but it would just make it to where Doomsday's just no longer going to be affected by anything, because eventually he'll just become fully immune to everything. But more interesting isn't the fact of the long term. It's the more interesting thing is a first encounter, because this is going to have arguably the least amount of factors to talk about, because the later on in the multiple fights that they would have, the more factors are going to factor in, because there's more stipulations, more immunities, more factors in general that need to be dealt with. So, in my opinion, there's only two things I think are going to happen on a first encounter here. Either Darwin just gets teleported away like what happened with Hulk, and then the fight is just default win to Doomsday because Darwin retreated. Either that, or Darwin develops a power that Doomsday hasn't become immune to and takes him out for the first fight. Now I'll let you guys answer this. Who do you think wins? Do you agree or disagree with my take? And how do you think a prolonged battle or multiple battles would go between these two characters?